What's up, my fellow dog furries? It's me, the person who's holding the big-ass sword but isn't from Final Fantasy VII, Annie.
And I'm the girl in all the other animes that have dogs and then a girl has to fall in love with you for some reason, Minty.
You made that sound very weird, and this is FunUntitled, where every podcast is served with an FU.
Yeah, that doesn't help when we're sisters. But anyways, we want to talk about the anime that's getting a sequel that I think everyone's been looking forward to. But we're going to talk about Inuyasha first before... If everything goes to plans, Yashahime should be coming out soon. But we're going to be talking about a basic review of Inuyasha. So yes, this is going to be a lot of spoilers, especially for the beginning part of Inuyasha. Before Final Act, because we did not realize Final Act came out when it did.
And hey, maybe if you don't know what Inuyasha is because you didn't watch it on TV when it was on Adult Swim and you're a little bit too young for that, maybe we can teach you, Inuyasha before you watch Yashahime.
Yeah, I think actually Inuyasha is a great anime for beginners.
Oh yeah, great animes for beginners. It's the episodic episodes, like Power Ranger style, because you don't need, you can just jump into every episode and you don't have to know all the rich, intense lore.
Yeah, and it's an anime everyone kind of knows.
Yeah.
I remember when we went to Anime Club and they were like, oh, what's an anime you really like? And I think everyone said Inuyasha.
And there's so many memes you can get from it. If you can't relate with a bro over a meme, then what's the point? There's this command that Kagome tells Inuyasha because he's a dog, so everyone's just like, sit boy, or whatever Japanese equivalent, and you're like, hey, that's like the Tumblr equivalent of, I like your shoelace, thanks, I stole them from the president. That's how you trick someone to admitting they were on Tumblr.
I didn't know the Inuyasha memes.
Oh yeah, the whole, Inuyasha, Kagome, Inuyasha, Kagome, I'm not gonna get into it.
Oh.
Basically in the whole anime, they just shout each other's names, and the dub actors get really into it.
It was ridiculous watching it as a child. Yeah, you know what? Because the anime comes out in two parts. The original, which we saw as kids, and then the second part, which is Final Act. What I'm seeing, the original came out 2000 to 2004, so we're elementary school years for us.
By the way, y'all, a little art nerdy fact. Inuyasha, it would be interesting if you want to learn about art styles, because in the first, few seasons, it's all done traditionally on CEL. I can't pronounce the word.
Cell?
Yeah, that was the word. Don't sass me. I went to speech therapy. This is canon. And then in Final Act, it comes out a few years later. That's where they do everything digitally.
Final Act looks amazing.
Yeah.
But it still has that nice quality that traditional animations have. Not like how Sailor Moon Crystal kind of got rid of that charm.
Yeah.
I think Final Act kind of kept it still.
If I remember correctly, I think Final Act kind of kept the same thick lines, unlike Sailor Moon Crystal where it made it really thin lines.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
A little art fact, I know it's very tempting to be like, this anime draws it with thin lines, so I should draw it. You should really explore what kind of lines you want, clean line versus messy lines, thick line versus thin lines. Demon Slayer gets away with doing beautiful thick lines.
Really?
Yeah, totally.
I have not noticed. We need an art corner, but with a real artist.
Yeah, we'll invite some art people and we'll just tell Minty to leave the room. There'll just be Annie, Annie 2, Annie 3, and Annie 4.
They're all gonna sound the same. They're all gonna have the same opinions, but don't worry, guys. They're definitely 4 different people.
It's okay. But speaking of great artists, you want to say the history about the creator of Inuyasha?
I don't know what you mean, but I do know that her art in the manga, it's so beautiful. No, because most animes look like the manga, or cleaner and nicer, but the anime really looks more typical. But you open up a manga and you're gonna see this fantastic art. I mean, people do redraws of this style just because it's so nice. It's almost like traditional Japanese, but beautiful.
If you ever saw this story about this Oni girl who's just seems to be floating all the time, that's one of her first works, I think.
Urusei Yatsura.
Yeah.
And my son Ikoku, we have seen Ranma 1/2, which we'll talk about maybe another day. But I actually really liked Ranma 1/2.
Oh hell, Ranma 1/2, that's a staple. It's the voice acting's a little cringy in Japanese. I mean, in the English dub, it's a little cringy, so you might want to watch it in Japanese.
Yeah, Annie, I don't know if you know this, but you know Rinne, that was her newest work. It's over, and she's starting another one. Oh, the creator's name is Rumiko Takahashi, and I didn't do a lot of research, but supposedly she won an award, but she is like the second Japanese person to win it and the second woman to win it. It's some kind of artist award.
This is just a fun fact. The FMA artist, I forget her name. She went.
Hiromu Arakawa, I believe.
Okay, I'll say Aloha. She went to a manga award and she brought her one of her kids. But then she was smoozing with people and she lost track of one of her kids. So she was looking for the kid, and then she finds the kid I believe he was just chilling with the creator of Inuyasha. And then the creator of FMA was just so awestruck she didn't know how to get her kid back.
Oh man, I would just the kid is gone.
That kid has found a new mother. She will take care of her now.
A mother he can be proud of. Not that FMA wasn't amazing.
No, it was just saying, artists have crippling doubt all the time, so they wouldn't think of their work as being great.
Okay, but let's talk about what Inuyasha is. And I love the secondary title, or its subtitle, which is Inuyasha, a Feudal Fairy Tale. Because you know what? It really is.
Oh, yeah. You even have a sleeping princess, quote-unquote princess.
Oh. I mean, it just follows a lot of that fairy tale tropes. Right, so it's about Kagome. She's a 15-year-old modern Tokyo girl who falls in her well and goes into, which I learned, Sengoku, Japan. But it's basically feudal Japan. And she falls in and she meets the half-demon Inuyasha. And she was somehow born with the Shikon Jewel. And the Shikon Jewel is a jewel that grants you one wish. But when a centipede demon attacks her, she loses the jewel and it shatters to a million pieces. And she decides to team up with Inuyasha to find the Shikon Jewel.
By the way, y'all, put your thoughts in the comments, but that was nice and everything, but you're not enticing them. You gotta be there's a 15-year-old girl named Kagome. She's working with a dog named Inuyasha. Together, they find a merry band of misfits, including a pervy monk named Moroku, who's always trying to get people to bear his children, which is really weird in the Me Too era. A Demon Slayer songo before Demon Slayers became cool by Tanjiro, what's his name? A fox boy named oh my goodness.
You always say Kila's a fox. Shippo.
I don't like animal mascots, but in this case, it's Shippo who's the animal mascot. But a fox boy named Shippo before Naruto. That's right, the original Naruto.
Well, actually, the original Naruto is Kurama from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Real shit?
Yeah. So, because Kurama is the name of, the redhead from Yu Yu Hakusho and the nine-tailed demon. He literally said he named it after him.
We're going to talk about this more than either the Yu Yu Hakusho or the Naruto, because I'm sick of this Naruto man copying things from the Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho man. I'm
sure there's a million podcast episodes about it, but it is crazy how much concepts was taken. And I don't think it's stealing, and we'll talk about that later. No, I told you, we weren't doing the 80s movie narrative.
Put in the comments what you like better.
Not that, because that clearly says everything wrong, because it makes it sound like a little girl and her dog, and they're having an imaginary fantasy joyride around, the neighborhood.
I will admit, I got Shippo and Kilala confused. They both participate equally as much in the series. Yeah, it's when the little girl sees a stray cat and is like, is that the neighbor's cat? I don't know what. But that is who they are, that merry band of people. But there's also reoccurring characters, Kagome's love rival, Kikyo. Kikyo's an undead priestess that reincarnated into Kagome, so that's weird family tension. Inuyasha's love rival, which is a wolf demon, which makes it sound like Kagome's got a problem. And Inuyasha's half-brother, because what kind of fairy tale would you have if there weren't family drama? Shishomu. But some people ship Kagome and Shishomu, and I thought, no. If I had any no TPs as a child, that would be the one. You keep looking at me as if I would talk to you after you cut off my great 80s vibes. Anyways, all these characters all going for the Shikon Jewel to get their one wish, except Shishomu. He actually wants Inuyasha's sword. That's a story for another day. No, it's not. It's the story. All wanting to gather the shards of Shikon Jewel to get the wish come true before the common enemy Naraku has a chance to grant himself unlimited power. He's a half-demon. He wants to be a real demon, just like Inuyasha. Real fast, y'all. We'll talk about the high praises of Inuyasha in a moment. Here's some shady-ass shit about Inuyasha. Their love romances, if it's not the main couple, totally whack. So, like, you have Naraku. He was a human who got, like, seriously burned or something. Something happened to that man. And, like, Kikyo tended to him and was, like, really nice. And he's like, wow, I really love this lady, but my body's all burnt up like bacon. Hey, demons, if you eat my body, I need you to give me strength so that I can make some moves on that hot priestess. And the demons was like, hell yeah, that's an all-you-can-eat buffet. I like it when it's, like, you know, well done. Then you have Koga and Kagome. Okay, fun fact about this creator. In the last series, Mama and One Half, they always have these stupid love rival stuff. It wasn't well done in that one either, but it was a little bit better. There's a pig boy. I forget his name. When we did a round Ryoga. But when he was in love with the main girl character Ayame, but he became such a breakaway character and so popular, the creator felt bad if he just left him alone and without a love interest. So she made a love interest at the very end who was like, I think she was a pig farmer or something, and he turned into a pig, so it was kind of like perfect. So Kyoga gives me a lot of Ryoga vibes.
Which actually, I like Ryoga and Ayame ship better than her and Ranma. Because I honestly didn't even think they liked each other. They were just jealous of like the other love rivals a lot, but they never seemed to really like each other.
Real fast, I just realized something. Wasn't that filler wolf girl that was in love with Kyoga also named Ayame?
Her name is Ayame. Oh my god.
Someone in the anime department had the field day with that one. But yeah, and then you see Kikyo and Inuyasha, and that one's just is a toxic relationship because there's miscommunication, and it's constantly Inuyasha's like, Kikyo, are you alive now? I kind of want to get back together. And Kikyo's like, I'm gonna try kill you.
See, I don't know if you call it toxic, because she is definitely an undead born out of like hatred for Inuyasha, and I guess everything that happened to her, because she was supposedly betrayed by her lover, but it was actually just like being tricked by the person she was taking care of, not realizing he became a demon. Which, to be honest, if you're a demon and you see a piece of bacon, as good as bacon is, you should be going out and looking for like a nice piece of ham or like something substantial.
I think it's because
Free?
I mean, you know, demons take what they want. Demons don't care about that price. I think it's what he wanted kind of got them closer to Kikyo in a way.
That's true, because he only became a demon because of the hatred for Kikyo so much.
You know what also kind of pees me off? So Kikyo had this thing, well, I believe Inuyasha, he had makeup from his mother, and then he gave the makeup to Kikyo and was like, oh, I'm not gonna use it, so I guess you can have it. And then in Yashahime, she's like, once I put on my red lipstick, I become an unstoppable killing machine, or something like that. And I'm like, why did we use a Kikyo thing for the daughter? Like, it's one thing if you say, oh no, it's Inuyasha's mom, but he gave the makeup to Kikyo and then Kagome never got it.
Yeah, I actually would think it would burn with Kikyo, because she, decided to burn her. I don't know why she burned her body.
She burnt her body so that way, because if a demon ate her body, a demon would get, like, really powerful.
Also, she burned the Shikanju too, which didn't work.
I mean, technically the reincarnation just got it,
Now, wait a second. If she's a reincarnation...
Kagome is a reincarnation of Kikyo, even though they look nothing alike.
They kind of in the manga, though. Who had children? Technically, reincarnation, you don't need to be a family lineage. But I like to think that there is in this case.
No, you don't have to. I mean, I don't think... I wonder if Kaede got freaky. Kaede is Kikyo's sister that is still alive in the next gen anime. Don't know how old she is.
Isn't it only like 10 years later, that's why? From the ending?
Do you think that child is 10 years old?
I don't know. I guess maybe 20 years later?
I think they're in the middle school or something. I don't know.
I'm really looking forward to watching Yashahime. But anyways,
real fast, in the end of Inuyasha's, Kagome's little brother, he was like in elementary school. Then the end of Inuyasha, he's like in like middle school or high school, and his friend's like, don't you have a sister? I'm like, yeah, but she like eloped with a guy, and I never really saw her again. So then that had to be some years, and then you need some years for the kids to grow up.
Yeah, that's 3. Between Kagome, Kagome wishing the Shikon jewel away, and then her fully living with Inuyasha, those are 3 years apart.
Did we spoil the end of Inuyasha? Whatever.
Well, it's a review of Inuyasha, so all spoilers are off the table, which we said in the beginning.
Fair enough.
Which, I mean, we went out to a lot about Kikyo's past, which, debatably, is that spoilers? Depends on person to person. I say yes. Some might say no, because it's not very important.
Not important to the plot.
It's very not important.
It's hard to spoil Inuyasha because it's so episodic. Where they kind of recap it every single time, and you can kind of go without knowing the past.
Yeah, that was kind of annoying. Kagome doesn't really hate Naraku, but Inuyasha does, because Naraku's the reason why Inuyasha got impaled for 50 years. Moroku hates Naraku because he cursed his family with the wind tunnel. Sango hates Naraku because she killed her entire family and kidnapped her brother.
Hey, that is Kimetsu no Yaiba. No, okay, real fast. I love how you said Moroku got cursed with a wind tunnel, as if Naraku was like, hey, you have this NASA wind tunnel. And Moroku's like, I'm cursed with this machine that makes the wind. No, but his family gets real effed up by that wind tunnel.
Yeah, so I'm going over all that just so you realize we're spoiling all of Inuyasha. This is not a recommendation podcast, which I do want to do. A recommendation podcast where we recommend and don't spoil anything, but it's a review. And we're saying Inuyasha's great, and we're giving out spoilers.
Okay, we harp too much on why Kikyo doesn't really make sense, and the couples are all kind of shitty. But the characters in Inuyasha are all really A+, A tier. Like, they all have their own little quirks, but it doesn't get like annoying. They all have the little traits, like the way that Inuyasha's always carrying Kagome, and it's just things to look forward to every episode. Like, oh, I can't wait to Killua transform.
I do like their interactions as a group, but sometimes they just get paired off too much. Like Inuyasha and Kagome is always paired off. Moroku and Sango is always paired off. Shipbro usually goes with Moroku and Sango because he's not allowed to be in their little couple.
I cannot stand shows where look, we gotta ship bait these characters because they're gonna become canon, and people get really excited when we see them together. Let's just Scooby-Doo syndrome. Fred and what's her name, Daphne. Yeah, you guys always get paired up together.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the one thing I don't like about Inuyasha, but I do, because I think Inuyasha is one of those shows where it's you get one person as the journey goes on, not as long as One Piece, but they're together for a common goal, and then there's reoccurring characters that come and go, but they also have that same goal. So it's no wonder that all these characters' stories will come together. It's not random, why are you here?
I think the stories was also really fun. There's a lot of villains that was just such fun concepts. There was this lady who I believe she was actually just a skull with hair attached to her and a comb, but she had this projection of a really hot lady that can control hair.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, and then who can forget the Band of Brothers?
Oh my god, the Band of Brothers is the best arc of most animes.
And I think everyone had the hots for Kaguya.
Who?
Is that not the
Oh, Kagura.
Kagura, my
bad. The windy. Oh
Sorry.
My god, she is hot. She is so hot.
I know your personal favorite character is actually Inuyasha's brother Shishomaru, and I think a lot of people agree with that. That's why in the sequel Yashahime, it's about his offlings more than Inuyasha and Kagome's offlings. Which, by the way, I will never forgive animes that's hey, we need to make a spin-off series of the kids, but you can't be a good protagonist without some baggage, so we're just gonna have your parents either be out of the picture or bad parents. And I'm let me grieve over the fact that I can't have my vanilla family fluff AU. Me looking at Boruto, you telling me Naruto wouldn't be a good dad. I know he's being the responsible Hokage, but you cannot be an orphan boy with no parents and then not, then neglect your kid.
I am going to fight you tooth and nail in a different episode on how I have explained this to you many of times, but another episode. But yeah.
What other next gen series are there? I feel like there's been a lot.
Is there? I mean, because Bleach has that one chapter, but not really. It's not a series.
Yeah, I guess not. I feel like it had happened before. Eureka 7. they had this whole series about, it was about their son. If you remember Rekka 7, it's about that, I want to say teal hair girl, and she falls in love with a brown hair kid, and they both fight with Gundams. And then I believe they both had to do something, so they kind of just bailed on their kid.
There's also what's that one, XX Holic, where they killed off the parents, which
Don't
is
talk
really
to me about
messed up.
XX Holic because I will end myself.
But no, I don't know, I like Shishomu because he's really hot, but also because he's a super badass character, you know? He wanted the best sword, but he's not allowed to have it because he's not a half demon. It's kind of a dick move on his dad part. Unless you watch Final Act, and then you realize, holy crap, the dad gives Shishomu this really overpowered sword that allows him to create dimensions, that allows him to kill enemies. And he gives him a sword that allows him to bring people to life. Messed up.
Real fast, y'all. I'm just gonna explain this because your Shishomu Bono kind of stopped you from explaining this well. The father was a great dog demon, and he left behind 2 swords for his son. I don't know the names. One Tetsaiga is like the killing sword. He gave that to his half demon son, and to his full demon sword he gave what name should we give it?
Tenseiga.
Okay, the Wimpy sword.
Tenseiga.
The Tetsaiga is super powerful, and Shishomu wanted the Tetsaiga, but he couldn't have it because a full demon cannot touch the Tetsaiga because it's too powerful and it's a demon slaying sword. So he has the Wimpy sword, the Tenseiga, and all he can do is kind of like bring people back to life. But the dad left that sword with Shishomu to teach him compassion, and as soon as Shishomu learned compassion via the sword, that's when he can unlock the full potential.
Yeah, I gotta watch Final Act. We've seen it only once, while the original anime we've seen at least each episode 3 times. At least.
You know something I love about Inuyasha is that Inuyasha kind of had this boy, not Inuyasha, Kagome had a boy she liked. I think, I forget his name.
7 each.
Yeah, it did, definitely. And you kind of, like, it never got annoying. Like, it never got in the way of Inuyasha Kagome. So you just like, yeah, it's there.
Which I think is all filler.
Oh, real shit?
Because everything, if you watch the anime, she goes into the human world a lot. Supposedly, everything in the human world is all filler. So her and her friends going to the W McDonald's, all filler. That school arc, okay, there's this one episode that really messed me up as a kid, where it's basically about these 2 little children. The little girl, kind of a brat. Little boy, always sick. But basically the mom goes out and she comes home early from school because I don't know if she's ditching or what, but she's like, I'm gonna hide in the closet and I'm gonna scare mom and you better shut up. So she hides, and I think she was waiting there a long time, so she falls asleep, and then apartment girl's on fire. It's actually her fault because she put the scarf on the kettle pot, and the mom comes and is like, oh my god, and she thinks the girl's at school, so she just grabs the boy and runs out of the apartment, and the little girl dies, and it's so sad because Kagome has to figure out why this little girl's haunting the apartment. I feel like she's haunting.
No, she's trying to kill the little boy in the hospital.
Oh, that's right.
So she's trying to figure out why her little brother's friend, has all this ghost stuff happening.
Yeah, because she's a vengeful spirit now, so obviously her brain's not all there. But it gets so sad because of the way she died, and then this Peter Piper demon is trying to take her soul, and it's like, that's not cool, man. But he's already taken like a bunch of souls. Although then he releases all the souls, and then he's all cool.
Because he was a demon that he leads children's souls, but then if the children's soul becomes too bitter, there's no point of saving them, so he like eats them or something. So when she was all bitter because she thought that the mother like only loved the son, then he was gonna eat her because closer and closer. But then as soon as she learned to let go of that hatred, when she learned the truth of, oh no, mommy doesn't hate me, she just didn't know I was there and I was being spoiled, and he let her go.
If we saw Urusei Yatsura, maybe we would notice demon mythology more.
Real fast, real effed up when you're a little girl watching this little girl die a horrific death.
Yeah, and when you want to be that older sister killing that little sibling. Very influential. Inspirational, almost.
Are we establishing I'm the younger sister? I thought I got to be the older sister. Mom said it's my turn to be the older sister. Okay, if that episode was filler, Inuyasha hands down has the best fillers.
That's
filler. I know
filler.
people are gonna come and say, no, Gintama has good filler. I haven't seen Gintama. Get out of my house.
Which is a sin on our part that we haven't seen Gintama yet. And we've been telling ourselves for years to watch Gintama. But holy crap, guys. Go watch that episode episode. There's only very few episodes of animes that mess me up, and that is one of them, and I saw it as a child.
Has Inuyasha ever make you cry?
That episode.
Oh, because
If there was one, it would be that one.
Because for me personally, only One Piece and Kimetsu no Yaiba has really made me cry.
You know this other scene that's sad in Inuyasha when he's a little baby and he's running away from these demons and he hides and he's like, no. And he runs to his mom and the mom hugs him and it's like, ah.
Real fast, y'all. Real tragedy. We never learned more about Inuyasha and his mom.
But we get to learn about Shishomaru and his mom is hot as well. Like, you knew what the genes are from. Not from the dad. Who actually, technically, Inuyasha's mom was also freaking hot.
Inuyasha and Shishomaru's dad got it going on.
He got a type, and it was hot women. Didn't matter, demon or human.
You know what's also interesting? The fighting techniques was very interesting. Like, Sango and the Huaikos. That's a giant boomerang she fought with. I thought one part that kind of sucked was Moroku kind of got nerfed because I guess the creator realized, hey, maybe giving him the wind tunnel, a black hole in his hand that can suck up anything for an insta kill. Maybe not the best thing to give him, so I'm always gonna put bees around so that way like he cannot suck up things or he's gonna suck up the poisonous bees.
Although there are times where he says, fuck the bees, and I'm gonna do it anyways.
Yeah, but like I feel like they should have given him more fighting techniques then. Like, I know he had those wards, like those spell tags because he's a monk, but I would have liked to see maybe just a little bit more because he and Sango kind of got sidelined because they never got power-ups.
Yeah, that is sucky, huh? Because the Tetsei got a lot of power-ups. He was able to break barriers, he got, the diamond blades, adamant blades I think it was called. I wish he did that, the blood slicing move a lot. I really like that move.
I think that F's him up.
I know, but it's cool. And he gets the shit beaten out of him a lot for being a half demon.
So I think in Inuyasha, like, you have cool fighting techniques if they get one, great characters, the story easily digestible and it's really fun to watch.
You know what? Inuyasha would have been a good series to really, like, maybe preach about prejudicism. Because they talk about him being a half-demon and how he sucks a lot. Just for being a half-demon. Not because he lacks fighting skills.
It's hard because it was very surface shallow oppression.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get much and they could have totally talked more about it. But I still like Inuyasha overall. I think it's a great series and honestly, doesn't matter what age you are. Because we were elementary and we're not effed up. Except that one episode. Except that one episode that makes you want to like cry and be like, I'm gonna get Peter Pipered by this demon soul that was gonna take her life. Also messed up. But didn't.
Okay, to be fair, if we got messed up by anything if we were children, it was from the fact that we watched Case Closed and episode 1 someone gets decapitated.
That's like the bloodiest scene too. Like Case Closed is pretty mild with the blood, except that episode and maybe one other.
By the way, y'all, Case Closed is a murder manga. I want you guys to think, okay, what the hell are they watching? It's basically it was like Inuyasha because that's all animes in the past because it's the whole thing like you come watch weekly Saturday cartoons and you don't want all this backstory or else you won't watch the show. And then every episode is someone gets murdered and you have to figure out which of the 3 suspects do it.
That's true.
Only in episode 1 someone gets decapitated, like
violently.
Yeah,
not violently.
Other episodes you don't.
Anyways, 10 out of 10. Would recommend Inuyasha. You gotta watch it now. Watch the final act. Watch the 4 movies. Maybe read the manga if you have enough time. But that way you can be totally prepared to watch Yashahime. I can't guarantee it's gonna be good, but I mean, the creator has created 4 other amazing series, which not many manga artists can say. And if you name one, the other series probably sucks.
To be fair, the man who made Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho, he made only 2 series, but they're very long compared to Inuyasha.
Damn, that is one that is an exception to the rule. But anyways, yeah, go watch it.
Well, thanks for sticking with us for this past 30 minutes, even though we was completely biased in every single regard, and I'm not sure if you learned anything.
Yeah, we talk a lot bad about Inuyasha, but honestly, it's super good. Like, I would rewatch it now. Just personally, I mean, just for fun.
I'm the weird, I want to say lizard girl that Shippo fell in love with in that one filler, Annie.
Oh, yeah, I like that episode. I'll be the other fox demon girl that he gives the crayons to. Minty.
I think those are the same people, but thanks for watching. Bye!
Were they?
I'm pretty sure.
Damn.